Episode number 406.
So our starting salaries compared to I would say 3 years ago are up, I would say 50 to 75%. Which just to keep going normally, right? And now, you have to provide all kinds of incentives.
Welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff, where we talk about life, dreams, social media, and business.
Well, hello and welcome to the Be Real Show with Travis Too Tall and Huff. Folks, you know your boy is always fired up, ready to bring you a little fuego in your days, nights, weekends, or whenever you are listening to the show today. But after this show, I think you're going to think about time different and how that not only affects your life, how you value and treasure time. And I'm talking to a man that has built a business around the beautiful blessing of time, Mr. RT Custer. RT, are you ready to go?
I'm ready, Travis. Let's do this.
Let's go. And you have built an incredible business, Vortex Watch Company. And I love kind of digging deep. America wasn't assembled. It was built. And the cool things you guys are doing is you're taking some of these old nostalgic timepieces and then mixing in new technology, your own style, your own vibe, and basically repurposing some of the basically things that might have been lost or thrown away or etc. into incredible pieces of artwork, investment, or obviously, a little bling on the wrist, to kind of go with our design and culture and how we like to dress as well. But tell me and take me into your history before we get into the business, before we get into the watches. Were you always into business? Were you always into selling things and making things or watches?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up a watch guy or anything like that. My business partner Tyler and I had the watch ideas on the golf course at Penn State when we were studying in college. But I grew up in a very entrepreneurial environment. My great grandfather started a Christmas tree farm in Pennsylvania in 1941, and so I was the fourth generation running the family farm. I'm an only child, so my parents kind of groomed me to take over the farm.
Right.
And that, that's what I grew up around. That was, I call it the side hustle of the family, because pretty much everyone in the family had a full-time job. My grandfather, my grandfather worked for the state of Pennsylvania as a forester. Both my mom and dad had full-time jobs, and we took care of the farm as, part of the legacy. And so, and a Christmas tree farm isn't necessarily a profitable business. It makes a ton of profit and revenue in December,
right?
And pretty much nothing the rest of the year. Just costs money the rest of the year.
Very seasonal based, but you have to be real strategic with your money because you're making it all in one shot.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is that's really what I learned from that family business, is doing things the right way, making and growing things with integrity, selling things with integrity, all that kind of stuff. And, you kind of only have one shot at it for the holiday season. And so you got to make it there. And you have to make enough and survive the other 11 months. And so there's a ton of lessons from that I gained throughout my, childhood. And then when I got to college, I started working for a multi-level marketing company called College Works Painting. And I basically ran my own franchise of a painting company where that's how I met my business partner in the watch company, Tyler. Is we were painting people's houses for the summer for a couple summers. And that was the first time where everything was on me, so I was the business one-on-one. That was super fun. And I was studying engineering. And so we just had we didn't necessarily set out to have ideas to start a business, while we were playing golf, but we had a few ideas around watches, and we came up with the concept behind Vortex Watch Company while we were still in school. And like you said, we salvage and restore antique American pocket watches and turn them into one-of-a-kind wristwatches. And so, yeah, that's the thing. We launched that on Kickstarter in 2014. And we've sold every watch we've ever made since then. That's my entrepreneurial journey in a nutshell.
So you've bootstrapped it from the golf course to where we are now. Obviously, you guys are at a whole nother level. And I'm sure the challenges are different. I know as you grow a business, it becomes more challenging as you have team and, competition, but not even that. You guys don't even really have competition. It's more maybe finding the watches, finding new customers for the watches. There's many different things. Where do you guys even source your watches? Are you guys going through like thrift stores? Do you guys work with wholesale buyers, or how does that process work?
Yeah, so we buy out estate auctions. Anytime a pawn shop or a jewelry store goes under, which happens every day, they typically have a whole bunch of pocket watches in the back they forgot about. And so we save as many of those pocket watches from being thrown away or cast aside in an auction, usually estate-based auctions. And a lot of pawn shops scrap pocket watches for gold and silver, like the case is gold and silver. And so the inside, which is the movement, that's the part that we need. We end up getting that for pennies on the dollar. And then that's how it starts. Obviously, we have to, restore it, make all the other components, and turn the guts of that old pocket watch into a modern wristwatch. But that's the company we've built. And you're right. We don't have a whole lot of competition. It's very, very hard to do what we do.
Right.
But it's a worthy, opponent, right? The challenge of taking on this business has been intense. But it's been a ton of fun along the way. We've learned a lot. We've built a great team, and we have systems and processes set up so we can keep growing. And sales and marketing has never been difficult. It's I think just it's cool. We're not very big. We don't make very many watches. People think it's really cool. So we're winning the supply demand curve, if that makes sense.
That's key. As I'm into the sports car business and things like that. And supply demand businesses are beautiful, but as you do not have the supply and you have demand, like what's happening right now with like F1 right now, and F1 after the Netflix, and after there was last year's release of the brand new product, and then this year's release, people didn't know. And you were buying boxes at $300 RT. Now they're 600. 3 weeks later, 3 weeks. I mean, literally, because obviously the business is people are breaking them. People are opening them. People are the supply every second is being, eliminated. And there's only a fixed demand in that business.
Yep.
So it's the same in yours. There's only a fixed demand of watches. But that's where these also get into being investment pieces as well. Not only are they, once you build an established brand that people can count on, you're going to be there. You're not a fly-by-night brand, or, they can trust you that you're going to be there the next day. Just like a Rolex, it holds value as well, I believe, right? Like, I think that's the new type of investor too, right? Like, I think not only do they want to wear it, but they also want to, this could possibly go up in value as you even enjoy it.
For sure, 100%. And ours have appreciated. And like you said, it's appreciation in the watch industry is all about that, the like brand credibility and just the history of the brand, making sure you trust the brand that's going to stay around. And then obviously supply and demand, and so Rolex has seen a massive appreciation in the last few years. The Rolex industry, or the aftermarket Rolex sales, has appreciated at the same rate as housing and the entire housing market, which is in itself hard to believe. But other brands, other big Swiss brands have also seen the same thing, especially when there's a limited supply. Limited editions are the thing. One of a kind pieces like the Vortec watches that we make are a thing. And then we, during the pandemic, we've just built this like really loyal following, and we're working on, we basically try to put it all out there and show everyone what we do and how it's made and where it comes from. We just started a new YouTube show called Custer and Wolf. It's Custer and Wolf Building a Watch Company is the new YouTube show. And we're basically going to film like the whole process of how Vortec watches are made. And then we're working on some other brands and some other cool products that we're going to come out with over the next few years. And so that YouTube show is just going to document everything. Our vision is to basically be like the Orange County choppers of watches,
Nice.
And
I like that.
All right, come in, check it out. Here's the behind the scenes, right, wrong, and different, good, bad, ugly. Here's how we do it. And that's a concept that came from, like, it's all content marketing.
Right.
And that came from during the pandemic. Honestly, to be honest with you, I thought it was going to be the opposite. I did not, like, no one could have predicted that luxury watch sales would take off during a global pandemic. I personally thought we were screwed.
Right.
Who's going to buy a $3,000 to $5,000 timepiece that only tells time, does absolutely nothing for you? You don't need it. I mean, let's be real. You don't need a watch.
It's absolutely an accessory or an investment.
Total
or a perk. It's a perk, baby.
Luxury purchase, right? I thought we were screwed. And so I started a marketing agency during the pandemic, because I thought, like, okay, I'm good at marketing. I love storytelling. I can help other people do what I've done so far,
right?
Building, websites and all that stuff. And thankfully, the agency, it's called Carter and Custer. It's my other friend and now other business partner, Jim Carter. That agency took off because everyone needs marketing services. Everyone's putting their business online, selling things online now. Like, there's a huge pivot in that world.
Right.
And we also got lucky and
didn't need it.
All the watches sold themselves. And so,
crazy.
So now, I have the luxury of a marketing agency as like almost a sister company that I have ownership in with my watch company. And so we have, professional videographers and editors and, people that take every word that Tyler and I say on that YouTube show, and they transcribe every single word. They're going to do that for this show.
Right.
Every single word that I'm saying right now is going to be typed up into a blog used for SEO, email newsletters, all that stuff. Like,
key.
That's really, I think, the key to my success and our success over the last few years has just been like trying everything, doing everything, and building a really solid team. Like, our people, while I'm talking to you, they're working, right? Like, that's a luxury in itself. And I'm super grateful for that. So, yeah. And it's fun, doing this all alone as entrepreneurs is lonely, right? So when you have a big team and they're all stoked about what you're doing, it makes it that much more fun.
Dude, that's crazy though. You like thought of like, cause that's what happened to me though, in my sports card industry, in my sports card business. Kobe passed, the pandemic hit. It gravitated me back to my old collection, but it was also the same idea. Dude, we're a social media agency. We have customers literally closed business out here in California, barely even getting back to business after 2 years. Let's just be real. Thank God that business is still here. But I was thinking the same thing. We're toasted. And in some cases we were for a little while because I couldn't ethically charge someone that was closed. It was hard for me to say, hey, Mr. Waterpark, you've been a great client for 10 years, but guess what? Here's a bill that no one's coming to your business today for, so I had to take it on the chin. Thank God though. Like you, my man. Sports cars, baby. Boom, boom, bang, bang, eBay, whatnot. All these new things came at the right time. Boom, boom. Now you got two big things happening, like yourself. But you even got the better of the two because you can pivot the resources of the agency to utilize on your business, the editing videographer. They're working on, obviously paid projects, but then they can mix in your work to that, which obviously saves you a ton of money on the business side. And you can do a ton more because of that, because it's expensive, man. You walk with an agency. I mean, they want to charge you $5-10 grand for a YouTube video.
For sure.
If you got the access and you got the team and source, you can make 50 YouTube videos for that same time and team and money. So, dude, shout out to you for doing that. That's a smart. And then also for your other businesses too, man. Always have them as the backbone, right? Have them as the backbone to help you produce, create, and like you said, all those things that you just can't do one person. There's just no way. As we're recording the show, people are working. People are getting things done. And bottom line, that's how it does scale. It is a very challenging thing too. So talk to me about that. What are some of the challenges you're seeing right now in 2022?
Well, like you said, everything costs more today. So we're talking about team, we're for the agency and the watch company, we're hiring, where I feel like we're just always hiring now. Right. And at the same time, we're trying to keep our current team happy. Right. So, the gone are the days where I can bring someone in and say, hey, can you assemble these watches? Or, hey, can you, package and ship watches for $30,000 starting salary? That's even in Colorado, way too little amount of money. That the living wage is much greater than that now. And so our starting salaries compared to I would say 3 years ago are up, I would say 50 to 75%. Which
to compete, just to
keep going normally, right? And now, you have to provide all kinds of incentives, and these are, my business owner friends and I, I'm in a few masterminds, and so in those masterminds we talk about this kind of stuff, and we've agreed that some of these are first world problems, right? It's like oh no, we got to provide healthcare now to keep our people. That's sometimes I feel bad about that, but at the same time, that you have to, everybody wants healthcare right now. Everybody wants relocation stipend or help, move in if they have to move to Colorado to work for me. That's the thing. Right. A lot of people want the flexibility to work from home as much as they can, just in case. There's always this nervousness of what's next? What's the next thing? Are we, I need some help setting up my home office, just in case, all this stuff. And so if you want them to work in person, with watches, we're making everything. We have machines. You gotta be standing in front of me to make watches. And so I feel like at this point, we almost have to pay a premium to get people to work in person, which is, again, there's pros and cons, right? It is what it is. But when you look at the numbers, not only between massive salary increases for the whole team, your overhead goes up, all of our utilities are up, rent in our commercial spaces is up massively. Yes, we bought a building because it was literally less expensive to purchase a building, a commercial space. I bought an old co-working space, rest in peace to co-working, seriously. But at the same time, it provided less expensive commercial space. But now my mortgage on that building is much less than it would be, half what it would be to rent a space of that size. Crazy. And so we're just doing everything to not only figure out how to not reduce our costs, but just slow the burn of the cash. Cash flow is hard to achieve when you're getting killed on both sides. Right. And for all those reasons, it's perpetuating now it costs more, right? Our watch prices are up the same, 30, 40% because we have to, right? Yep. So all of those challenges all in one are its own challenge. And it's just, I would summarize by saying it's surviving the post-pandemic bullwhip effect, right? That's what it feels like.
Totally, dude. Absolutely. Because things have been good in some categories, but then now it's all coming to a head. Keep the people, we run a social media agency. You think we'll be running ads for selling burgers. No, we're trying to get hostess jobs and line cooks.
Yep.
You can't get, you can't staff a restaurant or build a new restaurant because some of our brands are expanding. They can't go into a new location without having people there. They can't have a line of 500 people and no one's wanting to serve you food. No one wants to come back to that restaurant, right? So that's the big thing we're having right now. You're absolutely right. You hit it on the head. I mean, keeping these people happy. And then also just the continual process of what that looks like, because we don't know the future. It is unknown. We don't still know everything, and we're going to do the best we can to get by. But then that means our prices have to go a little bit. So take it on the chin a little bit, customer. And I think what it does for us as a business owners, it makes us rethink our expenses and just be a little more strategic, like you did with your rent thing. Hey, let's just buy this place. It's way cheaper. You might have to put up more money or whatever, the collateral or et cetera, but way cheaper in the end, like a lot of people experience with their rent. My mortgage is way cheaper than most people's rent here in California for a 2-bedroom apartment, 100%. And it's but they didn't leverage the down payment 5-10 years ago. And a lot of folks, just to be real, it can't come up with that down payment. And so some of those things are advantages, my dude, but I already know because of the brand you have built and established that the future is bright, baby. The one-on-ones are bright, baby. And like I said, this is becoming more and more, just like our sports card industry has attracted interest of bigger money investors and things like that just take it seriously, build collections, and they don't sell them. They hold them, and so that just helps you out. Yep. If you have someone buying 50 of your watches, each one that comes out, they're adding a new one to their collection, and they're not selling them. They're just keeping them in the vault. That helps you too, my man, because that just keeps 100%. The supply low. and you have a loyal fan. Let's be real. If you didn't have a good product, you wouldn't have the company you have, my man. So you built something incredible. Now we're about to take you into our top 10. Are you ready?
Ready.
Apple or Android?
Apple.
Apple. Netflix or YouTube?
Netflix.
Netflix. Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram.
Instagram. Chicken or steak?
Steak.
Steak. Laptop or smartphone?
Laptop.
Laptop. Spotify or Pandora?
Spotify.
Spotify. Movies or video games?
Movies.
Reading books or listening to books?
Listening to books.
Let's go, Audible. Stocks or real estate if you're thinking about diversifying portfolios?
Ooh.
I can put a crypto
real
in there
estate.
too. Real estate, baby.
Yeah, real estate now. Yep.
If you were to get on a plane today, because you deserve a vacation, as we all do as business owners, oceans or lakes, which one are you going to choose?
Oceans all day, every day.
Yeah. What ocean would you want to go to, man? Which one?
Current favorite is Cabo.
Ooh,
short flight.
Beautiful.
Love it. It's
short
quiet.
flight. Beautiful.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And when you're waking up for your day, getting pumped, energized, ready to run the Vortec Watch Company and ready to obviously all the new future things you're doing. Why do you love being you, Mr. RT?
I love freedom. And the freedom that entrepreneurship and success and having a great team brings me. I get to wake up and do whatever I want every day. And man, is that a privilege.
It is in so many ways. I always say that the number one most important thing of being an entrepreneur is your time, right? You get the freedom of your time. And then obviously if you have success, you get the financial freedoms and the blessings and benefits of that. And then the biggest other thing you've seen is your team grows. You get to see them, flourish and grow and you're, helping them survive this crazy life we get to live. So do you think you'll ever retire from entrepreneurship, from creating brands? I know this is not the only brand you're going to be creating in your life.
No, I don't think the word retirement fits into my vocabulary. I definitely, my long-term goal, I think the closest I'll get to retirement is to be an angel investor. And help other people do what I've done.
Right.
Because that's why I'm sitting here right now. That's why I get to have this conversation is other people believed in me. They invested in us. I've raised millions of dollars in startup capital and, once I pay all those investors back and I make my own hopeful fortune, then I can reinvest that in some, young entrepreneur that's the next generation of me. And honestly, I hope that's one or both of my sons. I have 2 little boys.
Nice.
I hope they carry on the family legacy in one way or another, be entrepreneurs. If they don't, it's all good.
Right.
But, I just want to invest in that next generation and find people like me and you that are in the grind, willing to hustle, willing to build those teams and build the economy that, is fickle right now, but we need. And that's what America is all about, I think.
Oh, yeah. And because of the internet, because you can do the things you can do now, is why we have the beautiful blessings of the businesses. You can have a website that makes sales. You have the eBay like I do on mine, or any other type of marketplaces out there. But the future is bright because the generations in the coming future, they're gonna have so many more things. They're gonna have the metaverse place they're gonna be shopping at, etc. Do you have a routine on how you start your day as a father?
I was just on a podcast recently and they asked that all the questions are about that. And I realized I do have a morning routine, but it doesn't start until I leave the house because my kids are going to be 3 and 5 respectively this summer. And so Lindsay and I just wake up to absolute chaos. We have 2 big dogs, 100-pound dogs. So 2 dogs, 2 kids,
squad, baby.
It's just a mess and it's beautiful chaos, right? It's love and I love all of it. Once I help her figure out how to start that process, then I get in the car, go to the gym, and the work starts. And I go to the gym every single day. I take more vitamins than you can probably give a horse.
Baby, let's go.
I'm trying to feed.
I was talking about that. We got that expensive pee, baby. We got that expensive pee.
100%. Yeah, it's It's probably $20 a day.
We got the $100
payment. But that's the morning routine. I love like the mindset that comes, like today was leg day, like just push yourself, like almost hurt yourself.
Right.
And what can be harder than that for the rest of the day, And so that's what I try to start every day with, but besides just like taking care of myself, give myself the right nutrients. And then I try not to have too many meetings before noon. That's like, I would say part of the morning routine is do fun stuff like this, create, invent, talk, right? Like journal, get the ideas out, and then talk about it when I'm a little less productive, normally in the afternoon.
So smart. Love that. I love that, because you're absolutely right. I mean, so many times we get caught up in stuff that doesn't matter in the mornings, baby, and get that stuff done. And then all the light stuff in the afternoons, the meetings and anything else like that. But the fun stuff sometimes is the best to put in the morning too, because it gets you going for the day, get you ready, get you pumped, get you energized. And like Jeff Bezos, he has that morning time for his family, the chaos. And this is one of the greatest entrepreneurs in the world, guys. So just remember that morning time is a nice time, but then I like you going to the gym, get that workout in, put in that hard work. And then everything from there is easy peasy. Is there a favorite app or a tool that you like using to run your business or you just enjoy using right now?
Gosh. Awesome question. You know what? Let's look at the most frequently used apps. Go into the phone. Huge fan of Slack right now. Have multiple teams, lots of communication happening all the time. I love that Slack is like slowly whittling away at email. Because everything I've done for my whole life has always been on email. We're trying to transition most conversations to Slack. Massive for me. Really, really helpful. The other one I would say is Airtable.
Airtable. Yes,
we use Airtable instead of like Excel for big stuff like that. And the next one I'm diving into is called Keep, and it's they got purchased by Infusionsoft, but it's a CRM.
Okay.
And so for our agency, keeping everything in one place, I can have like a file for you, all that kind of stuff. And like, all right, next time I talk to Travis, I'll remember what I talked about CRM style. That's huge. And my new love, like this is more physical product. I'm a physical product guy. It's out of reach over here, but I just bought a Remarkable tablet.
Remarkable. I've heard about this.
Remarkable. I think it's gonna kill notebooks. Like I haven't touched a pen and paper in the last 2 months. I take all my notes in Remarkable. I can transcribe every word that I write. I can send someone an email right from the tablet with my notes from this meeting. If I was taking notes, I could actually share my screen from the tablet and show you, like draw you I'm a terrible drawer. It'd be a really awful diagram.
Stick figures, baby. I
could show you my stick figure drawing of like, here's what we're going to talk about next. So it's not an app. It's not really but like
actual products,
physical products. That's really my thing. And so, love stuff like that. Oh, and I got the Aura ring.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Which is
sleep.
Huge.
Now
I can track sleep. I can track my workouts. And I don't have to, I run a watch company, so I'm not going to wear an Apple Watch.
Right.
And so I have this ring that tells me all that kind of stuff. So that's my list.
For your workouts? Is it comfortable for your workouts and stuff too?
It's not bad. I feel like I'm going to scratch it up. But
that's part of the game. It is what it is. Buy a new one, baby, once it's done, right? Like, I mean, it's part of, but yeah, I mean, to get that trackability during your workouts, and also the big ones around your sleep. I think it really, really does a great job. Supposedly from Tom Billy and it's key on sleep, baby. Sleep is so important for us.
Yeah, I'm only about 10 days in, so I'm not an expert in any way, but it's the data that it shows is really cool, and I'm excited to learn more.
Nice. That is awesome. I'm going to check out Remarkable. Stop taking notes, baby. I always take notes on my guys. But we're going to have a Be Real show. Remarkable, baby. We're ready.
There it is.
Send it to the cloud. Couple last questions for you, my dude. If you could sit down and chop it up with someone tonight to a steak dinner, who would you want to sit down with?
Rob Dyrdek.
Oh, yeah. I love that dude.
He's just
DC.
like, he's my Gary V. Like a lot of people look up to people like that.
Right.
Rob has done everything that I want to do. He runs dozens of companies effortlessly.
Right.
He has a small family that he clearly loves and posts about and cares about all the time. He only works, the last podcast I heard him talk about, he only works about 30 hours a week running all of those things and doing all of those things.
So smart
and, he's got all the luxuries that you would expect from someone who makes what he makes now. And he's earned it. So I don't even know what I'd asked him. I would probably just say, like, tell me your story, and how can I try to walk in your shoes a little bit and do some of those things? There is no hack, right? Like, if I asked him that question, there's no pill you can take to make you successful, but there's so much you can learn about just listening to somebody's story. And that's why I love doing podcasts. Honestly, it's fun.
I always learn so much. Every single Monday, guys, I usually try to do 3 to 5 podcasts, usually averaging 4. And I learn more on Mondays, and I'm more energized for my family beyond that because of the energy, the positivity, the vibe. And every guest is different. Their story is different. And I know that we captured like a piece of time right here. Like my man sells time, and we captured a piece of time that we can put into a bubble, put on the beautiful world of Apple Podcasts and Spotify, live out there in the world. And we're over 400 episodes now. So as you keep going with anything you do, people take it more seriously, like you have with your business. And like anyone that's out there that's thinking about starting something, my biggest thing is that wake up every day and keep on doing it, baby. Keep on recording, keep on showing up, keep on putting in that leg day, whatever that is. You got to do it because the activity is what builds this incredible energy and momentum. And obviously you have built that for yourself, my man. And I commend you on your success. And I know that this is just scratching the surface, baby, of many more, not only product companies, but maybe even the agencies and things like that just happen by just your own mindset and willingness to adapt and evolve. But like I say to all my entrepreneurs, RT, the future is bright for us, and it's full of abundance, my dude, for you. And can you tell us, just because I want to let the listeners know, because we're going to put that in the show notes too, where is your favorite place for people to learn more about Vortec and what you guys are doing and the watch company?
For sure. So Vortec is just vortecwatches.com. It's V as in Victor, ORTIC, watches.com. And then I'm just RT Custer, like Robert Thomas Custer, CUSTER, on Instagram, LinkedIn, all the things. Hit me up. And the other thing I would say is my agency is also easy. It's carterandcuster.com.
Oh yeah, Carter and Custer.
Those are my things. That's how to reach me. And I'm trying to grow my Instagram right now. So my new thing is a reel a day. And
nice.
So I'm 2 days in. I'm going to try to do at least 30, hopefully 90 days straight of one reel every day. So if you want to follow that journey, hit me up on Instagram. I'd love to share.
That's what it is, baby. RT Custer on IG. We'll put that in the show notes too. And also the Carter Custer agency, Vortec Watches. But brother, I always, like I said, man, the future is bright, super bright for you. But I love your passion and energy. And I love what you guys have done, taking something of old, of past, of treasured, making it new again, making it, something someone's going to value and treasure. And I know that this thing is, we just going to the moon, baby, on this watches, because more and more people are taking this seriously. And take this time to follow my man on Instagram, because he's going to be putting out 90 reels, he said, folks, 90 reels over the next 90 days. And thank you again, folks. You've been hanging out with RT Custer and Travis, Too Tall and Huff. We want to thank you again for your time today, and let's keep being real.
What another epic episode. And if you enjoyed the episode today, can you please do me a favor and subscribe to our podcast, The Be Real Show, on iTunes or your favorite podcast platform. And also take a little time today, if you don't mind, and give your boy T Huff a review. I would really super appreciate it. And thank you so much for listening today. We're all going through a lot right now. And real-time outsource, my business, is giving back to local and small businesses. Through our social media services and campaigns, we are actually helping small businesses get more exposure during these times, and also when we get through these times. At the end of the day, we don't know how long this is all going to last, but most importantly, you got to think about your business right now. Take it seriously. So come check us out at realtimeoutsource.com, and we would love for you to qualify and get the process started where we can take a look at your business and see if we can qualify you for some of our services at little to no cost for most of the businesses. And some businesses, you're going to have to pay, but that's just part of life, right? But most importantly is that I think this is the time, folks, that you can actually help thrive in your business. And so I would love to help you personally with our team. We're all going through a tough time right now. So take advantage of us. realtimeoutsource.com. Check us out. And we would love to do some business with you and help you with your social and digital media in 2020 and beyond.